3, 2, 1.
My name's Jaime Cramp. I've lived on the Gold Coast for a good 35 years now, and I've started going to the Playroom when I was about 17, and it played an important part in my life. And we had a lot of good times there. I played in a band there, met my wife there. It means a lot to me. Yeah, well, I first went to the Playroom back in 1990. Surely it would have been $1 a night because we wouldn't have been able to afford much else at the time. Later on down the track, a few mates from school and I moved into a house up on the hill in Burleigh Heads, which was fantastic because it meant that we were within walking distance to the Playroom, and we had aspirations to be the next big thing, of course, as young musicians do. So we formed a band at the time called Schmegma, and down the track we would end up playing some gigs at the Playroom, but we loved it because we were so close by. We could get home from work on a Thursday afternoon and stick $20 in your pocket, and you get down there at 8 o'clock at night and stumble home up around past the National Park again at 3 or 4 in the morning. After a bit of practicing, after a while, we started getting some gigs down there. We approached Archie Cox, who was running it at the time, and after a little while we were playing there fairly regularly with some other great local bands from the time, Self-Inflicted, Fur, Treebeard, Blister. There was a really great scene at the time because Archie had always want to give somebody a go, and back then there was I don't know whether it was policy, but the general rule was if a band was touring, you'd put a local act on, and it was just part of the deal. And sometimes 2 or 3 local acts if it was a big night. Well, probably one of the best nights I ever had at the Playroom was a big night. The Ramones were playing, so this was a big thing, and we went down and look, the curtains come across, and there's the boys, and Johnny Ramone tweaks his amp once and spreads his legs and gets into position, drops his hair over his face, and that was it. The classic 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 45 minutes non-stop. They probably played at least 20 songs. So we had a big night that night, and I remember we left the Playroom, and this stage we were living up in Broadbeach, and the usual thing would be to stop at the 7-Eleven there at Mermaid on the way home and grab a pie and a Slurpee. So we're all sitting out there in a little group, just sitting on the ground, and next thing you know, this white van pulls up and someone gets out and opens the side door, and out step the Ramones, and you can imagine we were all fairly gobsmacked by it at the time, and we actually sort of followed them into the 7-Eleven to get a better look at them. And I still remember Joey Ramone. He was, we're all tall guys, but he was like 6'8" or something, and he had to lean down to look in the drinks fridge, and we're very disappointed we didn't have something there for them to sign that night. It would have been wonderful. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think it was after a barbecue with a friend who'd actually taken some of the pictures of a gig of ours one night down there, and she mentioned she still had the photos, and I said, I'll put them up on Facebook, it'll be a blast. And that night we'd all spoken about, that was at the Playroom, and how great was the Playroom, and how sad it was that it was gone, and not only that it's gone, but that there's really been nothing like it since, and I guess never will be. But I sort of thought about it the next day. I had a bit of downtime at work, so I thought, I'll create a page sort of in memory of the Playroom, and force some people to share their stories. And it didn't take long. Next thing you know, we had 500 members, then we had 1,000. There was a lot of people that wanted to share their stories and their photos, about the Playroom. The Playroom played a really important part in my life, and a lot of things wouldn't have happened without it, which is what made it even worse when we found out it was going, and to see it go and get replaced by a car park. It's a time that we'll never have again, which is why I think the fact that we've got that little thing there on Facebook just keeps everybody thinking about it.